Hi friends, it's Peggy Noe from PrettyPaperCards.com, and I'm here with my little Yorkshire Terrier Ellie, and we are celebrating St. Patrick's Day 2022. It's actually tomorrow. Today is March 16th, but since we won't be live tomorrow, we wanted to celebrate it with you today. And so we are doing all things green. We're going to make a green card together. We're going to talk about green colors. We both have our hair adornments. I have my hair bow. I don't know if you can see it has a little shamrock up there. And Ellie has her green bow out of Stampin' Up ribbons, of course. So we are just ready to have a great Wednesday Facebook Live with you guys and YouTube Live. So welcome to my YouTube Live, friends. I'm so thankful that you've joined on. Leave me a comment and let me know that you're here, and you know, if you put the word prize as a comment, you'll be entered to win my random prize drawing that I award next week. And at the end of this live, I'll award the one from last week. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm going to check here and make sure we're on. We're perfectly going here, and that's the important thing. So welcome. What else did I want to say? Important things that are going on. We have a lot of important dates coming up with Stampin' Up and the stamping world and products and everything, and I kind of wanted to just go over them with you so that you know what those important dates are. And one of the biggest dates coming up is that we're getting a new annual catalog on May 3rd. I know it's only March, right? It's only mid-March, March 16th. But it's important to know that we're getting a new annual catalog. Here is the current annual catalog, the 2021 to 22 annual catalog. It's a big fat book, and it has so many gorgeous products in it. And it's my favorite time of the year when we get a new catalog. So I wanted to let you know the thing that it means when we're getting a new catalog is that the items in the current 2021 to 2022 annual catalog, many of them will no longer be available. And so that's why I want you to know that May 2nd is the Ellie's here. She's just sinking down. May 2nd is the last day to get all of the items in the current annual catalog. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today. On April 1st, they're going to release the items, but on April 1st, I believe, is the first day of the last chance promotion. Some of the items that are going to be retiring, they do put on sale. Some they don't put on sale, but they just want you to know that they're retiring, so you have an opportunity to get them. They're in that last month of April. But an important thing to note is the minute people find out they're a last chance item that they're going to be retiring, people scoop them up really fast. And so I want you to be ready for April 1st if you want to see what's retiring. And I'll be listing it on my blog, and I'll be talking about it. But I want you to know so that you're prepared. And the one thing that we do know that's retiring is every year we have new in colors. 5 beautiful new colors from Stampin' Up, and they last for 2 years. So every time a new catalog comes out, 5 of our in colors are going to retire. And so this year, these are the colors that are going to be retiring. They are Bumblebee, Misty Moonlight, a favorite, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, and Cinnamon Cider. These are the colors that are going to be retiring on May 2nd will be their last day. And the one thing to know is that everybody knows that these in colors are going to be retiring. So they're already starting to scoop up cardstock, ink, ink refills, ribbons, everything that goes with these colors will be retiring. So I want to let you know, and if you love one of these or more of these particular colors, I want you to know to scoop them up now, even before April 1st, because we know they're retiring and you're going to want to get them. Okay? Now I'm going to put Elie down and let her go in her little pink leopard bed and take a nap. But we're just going to continue here. So, hi Eleanor, good to see you. Thanks for stopping on today. I want to tell you about a couple of other promotions that will be ending on May 2nd and the things you need to know about them. So one is the All Together promotion. And this is the one with the beautiful hands. Let me see if I can get that right in there for you. The stamp, that stamp set will be in the new annual catalog, but the dies will not, I think. The paper will definitely not. The designer series paper will not carry over. The in color or the neutrals stamp and blend alcohol markers will be in the new catalog. But you can also get those now. So the biggest thing to worry about is the paper, the DSP, and the dies. If you like them, get them now because they won't be available after May 2nd. Linda, good to see you. And Waves of the Ocean. I didn't print out a flyer for Waves of the Ocean, but you all know how beautiful it is. I've shown you some of the gorgeous papers, right? Some of these beautiful designer series papers. These are only available until May 2nd. They do not continue into the new catalog. The stamp set and dies do. But the beautiful papers and the beautiful foils and the beautiful gems, all of those gems or jewels, I'm not sure which they call them. Let me just see if I have those right here. I do. Rhinestone Waves Basic Jewels. These are only available until May 2nd. So if you want those, I wanted to just get this on your radar so that you know they'll be going and you won't be surprised. Pam, hi, thank you for sharing, Pam. So I want to tell you about, that's a lot of news, but it's stuff that as we get closer to the new catalog being released, I want you to know all these things so you're not caught off guard. And then the promotion we're working with this month is the Savings in Bloom promotion, where we have 20% off 13 selected beautiful bundles and 20% off the Mini Boss, my favorite little guy, my favorite little die cutting machine, the Mini Boss. I'm actually not using him today because I need to use the big one for our project. But 20% off that Mini Boss. Instead of $60, he's $48 for the month of March. So if you don't have the little mini die cutting machine, you just must get it. And we're going to use one of the on sale bundles today. So let me turn you down and we'll see what we've got for today, what we're going to make. And our project, I told you, we're going to make a green project. Actually, I just remembered. First, I want to show you the Stampin' Up green colors. I've got them all clipped together here so that you can see all the Stampin' Up greens. Diane, good to see you. Happy St. Patrick's Day Eve. Thank you. Yes, we're celebrating a day early because I won't be live tomorrow, so we're celebrating today. Okay, so these are the Stampin' Up greens, and they are beautiful. I'm just going to see if I can get them a little bit closer to the camera for you. What a selection of greens is that? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. 11 different greens in the Stampin' Up color collections in all the different settles, brights, regals, and settles, brights, regals, and neutrals. And some of these are, I think one of them is a neutral, definitely. Mossy Meadow, I think, is a neutral. So these are just absolutely gorgeous. Hi, Holly. Good to see you. Good to see you today. Aren't these just beautiful? So when we go to make a green card, look at what we have to choose from. And some of them even look blue, don't they? I think this looks blue. I wanted to talk about that. It's actually Just Jade. Do you believe that this is the retiring Just Jade? We love Just Jade. Here is the ink pad. But look, when you hold it up next to all the other greens. Excuse me, I'm just having a little cough today. I can't believe that Just Jade looks so blue here. And here's another one, the one right next to it. mint macaron. Looks blue also, doesn't it? But it's gorgeous. And this one here, excuse me, is our beautiful soft succulent. But when you put them all together, all the greens, you didn't realize there were so many greens, Holly. I didn't really either. And so you can really see the color difference there, can't you? Beautiful. So today we are going to use shaded spruce and soft sea foam, and this is the card we're going to make today. We are going to use the Garden Wishes bundle because this is one of the 20% off bundles, and I think it's so beautiful. There's so much that we can do with it. We're just going to do a little bit with it today. One thing I especially love is that it has a little bee. It took me a while to see that, but it has a little bee, and these are such gorgeous good sentiments and great flowers. Garden Wishes and Dandy Wishes dies, but they come together in the Garden Wishes bundle for 20% off during the month of March. So let's get started on our card. I want to show it to you a little bit more first. We're going to use 2 different embossing folders, and we are also using the Amazing Thanks dies. I like this die set because it has the word amazing and the word thanks. I love word dies, I really do. And they have a white, or I made it white, a bubble that you can put around it that highlights the word. I just love word dies, so I really like this die set, so I've added it in combination with the Garden Wishes bundle. And do you see the color of bees we are having today? I mean, if we're making a green card, we got to have green bees, right? I don't know if there are green bees, but we're going to give it a try today. And this is one of the cards that flips up like this. Many times I forget to make this style of opening, but you know, it's so easy. It's just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock cut down the center lengthwise and folded in half. And it's not our common card opening. So next time you make a card, make one like that. It's just a little different and fun. And I stamped that neat dandelion in there and on the envelope. So let's get started. And we're going to do quite a bit of die cutting today because a lot of the things that are on our card are cut and in the die cutting machine and embossed. So first we're going to burnish our card along the score line. Sometimes the score line is a little bit off, so I always try to match at the bottom, match the bottoms to make sure it is right in half. And then we're going to emboss this piece. This is the shaded spruce piece, and it is cut at 4 3/8. Okay, you're going to be impressed by my numbers. 4 3/8. Let me put that down just a little bit. By wait a minute. 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 is the measurement if you're taking measurements. Okay, and then we have a piece of soft sea foam, and this one is also 5 3/8, and the measurement across is 3. So let's go ahead and emboss those. And both of these embossing folders are too large for the mini boss, the little mini machine that's on sale. They are too large for that because they're large embossing folders. We're going to use the Tasteful Textile embossing folder, and we're going to use the fairly new and one of my favorites, Hive embossing folder. Okay, so let's get the big boss right up here. And when we do embossing with the big boss, we use plate number 1 and plate number 4. Okay, can you see the little numbers? 1 and 4. And in between that, we put our embossing folder. And so I'm going to first put the soft sea foam piece into the Hive embossing folder. And we're going to run that through first. And these plates are made to work perfectly so that when you run that embossing folder through, it just runs through just like butter, no problem at all. And then let's go ahead and do the Tasteful Textile embossing folder. I love them both, but I do want to recommend the Tasteful Textile particularly because it's so versatile. This embossing folder, it's just kind of like a little, creates like a little oomph to any card. It's just a nice little background. It doesn't make a big statement. It just gives a little bit of texture to any card. So if you don't have that embossing folder, I really encourage you to get it. Tasteful Textile. Okay, so here's our card. And nope, that's the envelope. What do I do with our card? Here it is. And here are our two embossed pieces. First, we'll take out the Tasteful Textile piece, and we're going to adhere that with multi-purpose glue right down onto the top of our card. And I always like to check and make sure I'm opening it the right way. You know, I bet some of you have done what I've done, which is you make your card and all of a sudden you realize you made it upside down with the opening at the top instead of the bottom or something like that. And I don't ever want that to happen. So we're going to just adhere this shaded spruce piece right onto the front there. And see, I just left about 1/8 of an inch all around. So we don't have a big frame of white, just a small frame of white. And then here is our Hive embossing folder. I love this one. Oh, I love them all. The interesting thing to note on this one is this is one side where it looks like you see the honeycomb more. It's more prominent. And this is the other side where the honeycomb, it's more like you would see the honey that's built up on top. But I kind of like the one with the honeycomb showing more. So I'm going to put that up. But really, either side is absolutely fine. And we're just going to adhere that right in the center, leaving the same amount of space on both sides there, just like that. And now we are ready to do some stamping. So let's get ready with our stamping. We're going to stamp our dandelion. We're going to stamp some bees, and I think the dandelion and the bees is about what that is. I think I'm going to put the bees over here. Okay, so we're going to start with our dandelion in shaded spruce ink. This is really a beautiful St. Patty's Day color too. I'm not making a St. Patty's Day card because we made one a week ago. I made one a week ago with you guys. So here is our dandelion, and then we're going to stamp our little bees on here. And I'm going to stamp the bees in Memento ink. You know, on my first card I used 3 bees, and this time I think I'm going to make it a little more classy, a little more simplified, and I'm just going to give it 1 bee. Thank you, Pam. So just 1 little bee. I think it might make him stand out a bit more. I feel like I put quite a lot of bees, 3 bees on the last one. And for this little guy, we're going to color him in because we're making a green bee for St. Patty's Day, or anytime because this is a green card. And I'm going to use light shaded spruce Stampin' Blend and a dark soft seafoam Stampin' Blend. So for the body, I'm going to use the shaded spruce, and I'm going to just color this part in, just to give him 3 dark green little parts of his body, the parts that normally would be yellow. I mean, I guess if you're like a real bee lover and a traditionalist, you'd be saying, we can't have a green bee, but it just seemed like something fun for today to make a green bee. And here is the soft seafoam. It ends up looking a little bit gray, but I think it's okay. So there's our cute little bee. And now we are ready to do a little bit of die cutting. So let's get back our big boss again. And this time we're going to use the die cutting plate and plates. We're going to use number 1. Can you? I don't know if you can see the numbers there. Number 1, number 2, and 2 number 3s. So we're ready to go. And I'm going to try to do a bunch of die cutting all at one time. So the first thing we have is our dandelion. I don't know if I can do it all. Let's give it a try. So here's the die from the Dandy Wishes die set for the dandelion. Okay, here is the little, I don't know if I can get it all on here, but we'll try. Let's do the little bee next. Where's my little bee die? Okay, let's see. I don't know if I can get it all done and keep an eye on it so it runs through perfectly, because I need to die cut those thanks also. Let's see. So there's the little bee. I may not be able to get it all. Here is the word thanks. Let's give it a try. I don't know. And then this is going to be the thanks bubble. Where's my thanks bubble? Right here. Okay, I don't know when I've done this and done so many all at one time. Let's give this a try now. Ooh, I don't know if everything's going to stay in place, but we're going to try. Okay, that looks pretty good. I hope it all turns out. Oh. Okay, here we go. 4 things at one time. Whoa. I'm trying to go a little bit slow, so let's see how it came out. I actually think they probably came out well. Let's see, here's our dandelion. That looks pretty good. Where'd the little bee go? The bee is not too bad. And the thanks bubble is right there. Can you see it? And here is the little thanks. And this, you kind of have to use your little brush. This is the Take Your Pick tool. And it has a brush end that you can get, which I really like, that gets out some of those things very nicely. And then we just pull the little thanks right out. There we go. It worked. I'm thrilled. I have a little magnet here off to the side. That's the sound that you hear. And the little magnet holds my dies so I don't lose them here on my desk. Okay, now we're ready to put our card together. You know, I do think, though, let's do just a tad bit more stamping. Let's go ahead and stamp the inside of our card and our envelope before we put it completely together. Okay, I want to get that done first. So let's get our dandelion stamp out again. It really is such a beautiful stamp. It really is. And we're just going to stamp it over here. Isn't that just gorgeous? I love it. And here's our envelope. And we're going to stamp this on the left side, right over here. I just think that's so pretty. Okay, so now we're ready to put the card together. I misspoke before. Okay, here we go. So we're going to put our dandelion up in here. And I think first we'll go ahead and glue our thanks together. That got curled up just a little bit. So we're going to use a few tiny bits of glue, tiny dots, to get that thanks on top of there. Again, word dies are some of my absolute favorites. I just love them. So let's scoop this up. And what you can see is that there are some wider areas on the thanks. So on those wider areas, just put a tiny bit of glue. It doesn't take much. You don't have to have glue in every corner or anything like that. Just enough to hold it onto the white, what I call a cloud. I don't know, do you guys think you call it a cloud that surrounds the word? There's probably a fancier name for it. I don't know. But I call it kind of like just a word cloud. Okay, so now we've got just a little bit of glue on there. And we're going to go ahead and press the thanks right on there. And I just love the way that looks when you get it done. Isn't that just neat? I'll hold it up for you so that you can see it. Isn't that, I just love the way that looks with that white border going around. really neat. Okay, so I think that's the last thing we're going to glue, because everything else is going to go on dimensionals. So this is kind of how we're going to do it. We're going to have just one bee this time compared to the 3 I had on the last one. And I do think I want to have the thanks go off a little bit to the right. I think it just looks kind of nice to have it do that. Just a little alternating. Okay, let's get out our dimensionals, and we'll put our dandelion first. The dandelion only takes 2 dimensionals. Whoops. Okay. One at the top and one at the bottom will hold it on just fine. So we're just going to put that dandelion on just like that. And then we can put our little bee on, and I think he'll actually take an entire dimensional. Let's see. Yep, I think it works fine. I don't really think you can, well, maybe just a tiny bit. Let's try it. So we're just going to have the 1 bee for this card. I think that looks nice and simple, don't you? Tammy, good to see you. Hi. Okay, now we're ready to have to adhere our thanks word. And the one thing about it, when you use what I'm calling the bubble area, when you use the white behind the word thanks, it gives you space to put some mini dimensionals. And so you can just put a few, you don't need a lot, just a few where you have, see, that circle is just perfect for a dimensional, isn't it? Let's put one more down here. They don't need to be everywhere, but this will hold it on really nicely. Just those little mini dimensionals. Okay. And here we go. Let's see how it's going to look. I want to lower it down just a bit. Isn't that cute? I loved it. It was a nice challenge to make an all green card, and it was fun. Even making a green bee. I'm going to scoop my little dimensional covers off there with my little scooper. And here are the 2 cards. The one with the, whoops, a couple of dimensional covers didn't get scooped. Okay. Here are the 2 cards, one with the 3 bees and one with just the 1. And the prize for today, if you write prize, and I'll award it next week, is this set of 2 cards. I will send you these 2 cards in the mail if you want them. I'll leave a comment on YouTube or Facebook that says prize, and I'll award it next week. I think these are a nice little duo, a nice little set, and I would love to give it to one of you who would like this set. Okay, let's come back up, and there you are. Happy St. Patty's Day in advance. Now let's get today's prize. Today's prize is perfect for use. The one I'm awarding today is perfect for use to make this card, and it's a package of mini Stampin' Dimensionals. And I put all the names of the people that wanted prize from YouTube and Facebook, and I give them each a number, and then I run the random number generator, and the winner was Lucy McKittrick. So Lucy McKittrick, you are winning a package of mini Stampin' Dimensionals. I don't know that I have your address. I can't be sure. So I want to ask you, Lucy, to send me your address via email, Peggy at prettypapercards.com, or Facebook Messenger, to make sure I have your address so I can send this to you. If I don't get your address within 2 weeks, and today is the 16th, so by the 30th of March, I'll put these back in my prize bin. But hopefully you'll hear this and you'll send me your address right away, and I'll get them out to you. And then next week's prize will be a little set of the 2 cards and envelopes that we made today, one with the 3 bees and one with just the 1. So if you want that little set, put the word prize at the bottom, and you'll be entered to win, and I'll do the drawing next week, which would be the 23rd, right before I come on. You know, thank you guys for stopping by today. I wish you a very happy St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. Let me know if any of you are going to make corned beef and cabbage. You know, some people do make that. My mother used to always make that on St. Patty's Day. So I don't know how you're going to celebrate, but it's a very fun holiday, and it's fun to dress up, and I wish you a wonderful